time to scout.
Five dusk birds.
Oh, Tighnari, you all made it back. How did it go?
The withering zone you reported has been taken care of. No need to worry. Huh. Wait, is that? Oh no, Hypatia!
Huh? What's wrong, Tighnari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's the scholar you and Paimon were following when you first arrived in Sumeru.
Oh, her? How could we forget? So did something happen?
Let me see what's written in the letter first. Oh.
So what's it say? And what's with that weird expression on your face? Just let Paimon read it. Huh? All Paimon sees are 3 squiggly lines.
Yes, allow me to explain. After we brought you from Hypatia's cave to Gandharvaville, Hypatia resumed her meditation. She must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat, and it appears she's forgotten to prepare some rations. This letter is her asking us for help. We need to go.
What? You mean she's been sitting there for 3 days? Hey, wait, how did you know all that from just a few lines on the paper?
Well, obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines, and by the time we found her... Well, I'd prefer not to remember that. Needless to say, Hypatia's been through worse, but we should still get to her as quickly as possible. I've got some emergency rations set aside for times like these. Paimon, Traveler, could you two bring these to her?
Wait, you want us to bring her the rations? But will the Traveler be okay if her cave is still filled with that funny incense?
Let's find out. Here, Traveler, take a smell and see. So, how do you feel?
Huh? Really? You're not feeling even a little drowsy? But wait, how'd you know that he'd be okay this time, Tighnari?
Back when we were clearing the Withering Zone, I observed that he could adeptly manipulate the Dendro element. I knew then that he would be fine. And if I may ask, when I was telling you two about Irminsol's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you saw while you were unconscious? That's correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all. Though I don't intend to apologize for deceiving you. Because what you saw is of significant importance. Not just for the nation of Sumeru, but the entire world of Teyvat. My forefathers were shown much favor by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. We took an oath to protect this nation together with her. Now that that duty has fallen to me, it was part of my responsibilities to ascertain whether you could be entrusted with the fate of Sumeru. Now, after seeing you in action with my own eyes, you have earned my confidence, and I no longer feel the need to hide any secrets from you. When you passed out, your consciousness had connected directly with Irminsol. What you witnessed were actually real memories contained within Irminsol itself. I could try to tell you more, but it would be better if you went to ask Hypatia instead. Her focus on meditation and use of Spirit Borneol are aimed at establishing a connection with Irminsol, just as you did.
That sounds nice and all, but will she really help us? Seriously, she completely ignored us the last time we tried talking to her.
That was because when you ran into her, she was in a special phase of her training. During that time, she must avoid communicating with others. Please, wait here for a moment. Here, take these. It's a meal I packed for Hypatia, as well as some other ingredients. I'm sure it'll come in handy. Also, here's a letter that I would like you to give to her. Just show it to her and she'll answer any questions you may have. No. I should be the one thanking you. You've both been a great help these last few days.
Acacia should still be in the cave. Let's go inside and see how she's doing. More speed. Hypatia should still be in the cave. Let's go inside and see how she's doing. Hello? Hypatia? Hey, there's nobody here. Maybe she went out to look for some food. Let's try looking around the area. Hypatia, are you alright?
So hungry. Need water.
There's no way we can get her to eat in her current condition. Let's try finding some water first. Huh? Wait. Why does it look super foggy outside all of a sudden? Anyway, let's go look around. Huh? How'd things out here end up looking like this? What happened? And where are we? Really? Oh, maybe you're right. Let's go investigate the area. Wow, this place is huge! Paimon knew there's something off about that cave. Let's think of a way to get over there and have a closer look. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a lead of some kind.
More speed.
Huh? What happened just now? Why'd everything around us suddenly change?
More speed. Beg for mercy. Out of my way! Judgment! Dissipate! Light! Surrendering even. Shudder! More speed. More speed. for an eye. Time to scout. Time to scout.
What in Tibet is going on here? This place is getting weirder by the minute! Hey, what's the matter? You don't look so good.
Well. Looks like we meet again, traveler.
The Abyss Herald! What are you planning to do in this strange place?
Strange place. Plotting. You needn't worry about such things. They don't concern you. Bow before the Abyss!
Crush! Judgment! Flood of frost!
Abyssal roar!
You can't run! Punishment! Come a little closer. Beg for mercy. Rack and ruin. Let's spark things up.
Huh? Why can't we beat this guy? Oh, Paimon doesn't get it! We faced others like him before! What's wrong this time?
Traveler, though you may have managed to avert countless crises before, your good fortune was bound to end sooner or later. It's time you realize how weak and powerless you really are. Your sister. Oh, pitiful traveler. Are you really so ignorant? Or are you just living in complete denial? Her Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in her eyes is that of an annoying bug, only to be stepped upon. The bonds of love and family which drive you to find your sibling are utterly gone. Your journey is meaningless. But don't you fret now. Today will be your last. Now die!
What do we do? We haven't seen Hypatia anywhere out here. Oh, there she is! Quick, let's see how she's doing.
So sweet.
Well, the good news is that she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the floor like that? Are you okay? That's really not like you. Anyways, we can talk about this later. We better make sure she's alright first. Whoa! Wait a sec. Look at all this fruit lying around her. We can put that to good use.
Who is there? Tighnari, is that you? Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia. Tighnari sent us here to bring you some food and water. Here, we have a letter that he asked us to give you.
I see. So, you're friends of Tighnari. I apologize for all the trouble I've caused you. I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save me. You even brought all this fruit.
Well, actually, we didn't bring the fruit. It was already here when we arrived. We were kind of wondering about that, actually. When we found you here, there was all this fruit lying around and even some juice dripping from your lips. How did you end up like this anyway?
Oh, really? I seem to understand now. All the fruit was likely from my, neighbor. must have come by and saw me like this.
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
Oh? So you're able to see them too?
Wait, hold on a second, Traveler. You say that before we arrived, you saw some mysterious creature and suddenly had a strange dream? Isn't that a little too crazy to believe?
No, I actually do believe what the Traveler is saying. I myself had a similar experience once before and ended up scaring my timid little neighbor here. You needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves a little time in order to scurry away.
So, Hypatia, just what kind of creature is your neighbor exactly?
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I do know that they have some sort of deeper connection with the Archon. I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection with Irminsul. Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and my mind was racing with all the knowledge that I had touched. And at that very moment, I suddenly noticed a small figure at the opening of the cave. In my curiosity, I began to walk over to the creature. They must have already been used to me living in the cave, because they didn't seem to mind me approaching them. They just kept doing whatever they were up to. It wasn't until I crouched down next to them that they suddenly realized that I could see them.
Oh, and then?
And then I had a dream. By the time I came to, they were nowhere to be seen. I was convinced they'd never show up again. But sure enough, I saw them nearby a few days later, and they weren't alone. I feel like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them, but I never would have expected them to save me. Yes, no doubt about that. By the way, Tighnari mentioned in his letter that you had questions for me regarding Irminsul. Sorry about that. Sounds like just drinking juice still isn't quite enough for my stomach.
Well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food earlier... Anyway, looks like we'll need to prepare something ourselves. Besides, Paimon's getting hungry too. Let's eat first and talk about Irminsul later. Alright, we're up, Traveler. Today's menu will feature Sweet Madame and a radish veggie soup. You'll love them, Hypatia. They're our specialties after all.
Sounds good. I've never tried any dishes from other nations before. I certainly look forward to it. It's been so long since I've had a decent meal, too. To be honest, the last time had to be when Tighnari came to visit. More speed.
All done! Let's use the empty box that Tighnari gave us since we already washed it. Oh, it smells amazing! And the box is a nice touch too! Let's go serve this up and start eating with Hypatia!
Are you already finished cooking? Smells delectable. I'm truly thankful whenever I can enjoy a proper meal like this. Cooking really isn't my forte. Even though everything you mentioned was in Tighnari's letter, it's still hard to believe you were able to connect with Irminsul immediately after smelling Spiritborn eel for the first time. It took me nearly 3 years before I could do so, and everyone at the Academia even lauded me as a genius. You should know that some researchers spend their entire lives without ever successfully connecting with Irminsul as you have.
So why does this incense allow people to connect to Irminsul?
The ingredients used to make Spirit-born ale primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. These special ingredients are conducive to heightening our senses to the Dendro Archon's power. Since the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her powers to peer into the depths of the earth. That's all right. I'm sure you'll come to a clearer understanding as you remain in Sumeru.
Makes sense. But Paimon's got a question. Why was he sensitive to the smell of those plants for such a long time?
That was primarily due to his body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, he could perceive the Dendro Archon's power and experienced a sensory overload, hence the adverse reactions. Taking in any scent similar to the ingredients of Spirit-born ale would cause adverse effects. Not to worry though, it appears you've already fully recovered. Technically, your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro Archon, but unless you're using intentional meditation techniques, the scent of Spirit-born ale should no longer trigger such reactions.
Whew. Well, that's a relief.
I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities. Even if it meant suffering from pounding headaches for the rest of my life, I'd consider it worthwhile so long as I could connect with Irminsul at will.
Whoa, you're really serious about this whole thing, aren't you?
I am a researcher after all. As a member of the Ritaoist Archon at the Academia, my main area of research is the stars and their connection to the fate of living beings. But there is still so much we don't know, especially regarding the mysteries that lie in the starry skies. Which is why I must turn to the all-knowing Irminsul for answers. If only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee that my every attempt to attune with Irminsul will be successful, or that doing so will leave my consciousness intact. I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life. Many researchers in Sumeru have lost their minds while seeking to attune with Irminsul during this stage. Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine knowledge, and touching such knowledge without the proper preparations and abilities will only lead to one's mind caving in on itself. That's why we meditate alone. We need to ensure that our minds will be calm, while minimizing the possibility of involving anyone else.
Whoa, so knowledge from Irminsul can be super dangerous. Aren't you afraid of the risks, Hypatia?
Of course I do. Especially during nights that are pitch black with no moonlight, and dead silent without even the sound of insects. However, I've been feeling better as of late. I don't get as scared anymore knowing that I have a little neighbor living nearby. I believe that being able to see them is a sort of blessing from the Dendro Archon. But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the God of Wisdom herself, and they have the curious power to make people dream.
What's so strange about that? It doesn't sound so out of place for a divine being, does it?
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody in Sumeru can ever dream.
Huh. Is that true?
Yes, well, to an extent. Only children can dream in Sumeru. Adults, however, never do. The sages say that wisdom implies rationality, but that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor logical. Yes, if one struggles with anxieties, those emotions could influence their dreams. The fact that the people of Sumeru do not have dreams is seen as a blessing by the sages. They believe that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the God of Wisdom, is keeping us away from the foolish delusions you encounter in your sleep. I was born into a family of scholars in Sumeru City. Ever since I was a child, my parents would always tell me that I'll know I've grown up once I stop dreaming. I studied hard, enrolled as a student in the Academia, and went on to become a researcher. Sure enough, I never dreamed again. But then, On the day I scared the little Aranara, I suddenly saw a dream again. It was incredible. Though I don't exactly remember what I saw, I clearly recall the feeling. I suddenly felt like I was a child again. Back then, I was foolish and ignorant as any youth would be, but I was free of fear. Maybe dreaming isn't as bad as we've made it out to be. Just be sure not to speak of this if you travel to Sumeru City. They'll look at you as if you've lost your mind.
So, do you have any thoughts about the things he saw when he connected with Irminsul?
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any answers as of now. All I can say is that what you saw is a memory contained within Irminsul itself. World forget me. What could that possibly mean? If only I could ascend past Satyavada life and begin Paripurna life. I might have some more answers for you. If you two are ever in the area again, please be sure to come and see me. There's no need to be thanking me. You two are my saviors. Besides, I'm already looking forward to tasting some more of your cooking.
Now that we know Hypatia is alright and had the chance to ask her some questions, Paimon thinks it's about time to head back to Gandharvaville.
Think about it, Tighnari. Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand. I understand that you're a forest watcher, and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering zones. But isn't it evident that such work is not a lasting solution to the problem? As Sage Kage clearly stated, your presence and guidance in Sumeru City is pivotal in finding a cure for Irminsul. How could you possibly refuse?
Keep your emotions in check, Ghulam. Let's at least listen to Tighnari's reason for declining. We're here to invite him to the Academia, not to cause a scene.
Sage Kage, I am truly honored that you came here in person, but I'm afraid I must still decline your invitation. I am merely a forest watcher. How could the great minds of the Haravatat have any need of someone like me?
Well, it turns out that your refusal letter had some implications on your master's reputation. He is a renowned sage of the Immorta, after all. So now I've come here in his stead.
I see. Huh. And I figured that given his temper, he would come here and berate me personally.
Tighnari, your master is an integral part of this effort, and now he requires your assistance.
And what exactly does my master need of me, Sage Kage?
You'll know, once you've arrived in Sumeru City, that is.
And how long will I be required to stay?
There's no definite answer as of now.
Do you mean to tell me that despite coming all the way here to Gandharvaville, you still can't answer the questions I laid out in the letter to my master? If that's the case, then I'm afraid I cannot give you a definite answer either.
Tighnari, but you...
So be it. Come, Ghulam, we're leaving.
Tighnari, what was that all about?
It's nothing. Some people from the academia wanted me to go to Sumeru City to assist them with a project, but I had to refuse on account of all my responsibilities here. But all that can wait. How did things go with Hypatia?
It was quite the eventful trip, but the main thing is that she's safe and sound. She answered a bunch of questions for us, too.
Very good. Now that the traveler has made a full recovery, there shouldn't be any reason for you to tarry here longer. I assume you will be heading to Sumeru City, correct?
That's right! We want to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali and ask her for advice. Do you have any idea on how we can find her?
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any advice for you there.
Well, do you at least know anyone we can try asking in Sumeru City?
Let me think. My trips to Sumeru City have been fairly short, and most of my acquaintances are researchers. How about this? I'll write you a letter of introduction that you can give to a researcher I know. He's from the Amorta Darshan and is adept at gathering information. Asking him might prove worthwhile. Also, when you enter Sumeru City, you'll probably end up receiving something like this item here. I'm not sure if it will ever come in handy for you, but maybe you can give it a try.
Oh? What is it?
It's called an Akasha Terminal. It's a tool produced by the Academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Some say that this very item is the basis of Sumeru's reputation as the City of Wisdom. Needless to say, this device and its usage fall under the Academia's expertise, so I'll leave it to them to show you how to use it.
Great! Next up, Sumeru City! But wait, before that... That's right! Tighnari, we have something important to say to Collei before we leave. Is she doing better now?
Yes, she's doing much better. After being confined to her bed all this time, I thought a little walk would do her some good. Last I saw her, she was taking the path towards the North Crossing. She knew you two would be leaving soon, so she must have wanted to see you off.
Thanks, Tighnari. All right, let's go!
Farewell, and good luck to you both.
I've been waiting for you two. Never mind. I guess I should just wish you two a safe and successful journey. Thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Collei. We're headed to Sumeru City. Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. My condition won't be getting in the way of my duties. I want to be a forest ranger after all. It's up to me and the others to protect the rainforest here. And, I'm sorry. I should have told you both about my condition when we first met. I just wanted you two to treat me as a normal friend, not some girl that needs your sympathy. But I guess now I understand that the most important thing is for friends to be genuine with one another. There's no need to apologize, Collei. We should be thanking you for trusting us enough to be your friends and sharing your past with us. We're probably still gonna worry about your condition, but that's because we're friends and we care about you. Thank you. That means a lot. Before you leave, I have something for you. Oh? What is it? It's my recipe for pita pockets. I told you that I'd give you a copy, remember? My handwriting is a little, messy, so please don't laugh. Yay! Thanks, Collei. Now we can eat those scrumptious little pitas whenever and wherever we like. I hope that whenever you eat them, you'll both remember your time here in Gandharvaville. Well then, I, trainee Forest Ranger Collei, bid you both farewell. Please visit Gandharvaville again. The Rangers will always be ready to assist you here.